I was headed toward disaster. It started out quite a while ago, obviously, and I was about 19 in college, and it was in the 60s, so things were a little crazy, and I was headed toward disaster. And one day, I was living at home with my mom because I was going to Tarrant County Junior College and saving up for going away, and she found a crumpled up piece of paper in my trash can, and it was an invitation to a Baptist student union that was just opening up at Tarrant County Junior College, and they invited us on a ski trip. So my mom, desperate for me to probably get out of the house, or maybe hopefully that I would learn to behave, said she would pay for it if I would go, so I did. I met some of the most wonderful people when I went. There was Arleno Funderburk, who was the leader, who was so kind, and my heart was so softened being around this crew. And so on the way home, I just kind of sensed that God reached out his hands and said, you can continue to go the way you're going, or you can come with me. And I decided at that point, hey, I'm going with him. And so Arleno kind of discipled me, or I don't know what you'd call it, taught me the basics of being a believer for that next semester and in the summer. And then I went off to Southwest Texas in the fall. There, I joined up with their Baptist Student Union and learned all kinds of things like missions and service projects and how to read the Bible, and we had prayer groups, and it was just amazing type of basic learning for becoming a believer, walking closely with God. Along with that, I met a group that were the Navigators, which encouraged Bible memory. For several years, and even after that, I continued to memorize, and what I've discovered through the years is that these memory verses, or these sections of scripture that I have internalized, have been bedrock for me in times of very intense struggle. For example, after I graduated, not only did I get married, not only did I start a new job, but we moved out into a very isolated area, and as a new city, and I had no friends. And I did find some in church, but his word at that time just meant so much to me. And so I have continued to do a lot of, and I hate to say Bible study, because I look at it like, if you just read the scripture, you're just water skiing through the scripture. If you are in a Bible study, or if you're listening to a sermon or a lecture or something, I feel like you are snorkeling through scripture. But if you take the scripture and that has come into your mind and into your head, and you let it percolate and go down within your heart and kind of envelop it's throughout your life, what happens is it's like scuba diving in scripture, and it changes everything. And it has changed how I view all of my life, how I view all of my relationships, and especially how I can come to God. Through that, I ended up having 3 children. A couple of them have some learning disabilities, which was new to me, and some different Asperger's aspects which were also something that was completely baffling. And so through all of these trials and difficulties, I come to rest in the scripture that, like Psalm 18, that says it's a hostile world. And sometimes I feel like I'm in enemy territory, and just very quietly and as quick as I can, maneuvering through this hostile territory with very dangerous people and situations trying to blow me up or slow me down. But always, if I am working through this to God, it is just such a delight, because all the things that come to attack me, like worry or anxiety or any kinds of fears, any doubts, I have this basic scripture that has been woven into my life that I rely on and can just count on. I think one of the other things is how much scripture impacts my prayer life. I spend every morning, it's my favorite time of the day. I get up and stretch and have coffee, take it in, and open I usually have a Bible app. This time it's Lectio 365, and listen to like beautiful scriptures, and then with some challenging ideas. And for me, the morning is all about Psalms and sometimes Isaiah, but I just love Psalms. It is my prayer book. And so I open up my laptop, open up my prayer journal, and I type, because I can type much faster than I can write. And plus, I like to backspace if I get something wrong and want to change a word or change an idea, or get a little askew. And so I type my prayers out, and then I can cut and paste things from like I use Bible Gateway and open up my Psalms and cut and paste that into that, and then pray through it. One of the things, like I said a few minutes ago, the world is a hostile place. I think it's Psalm 18, and I was praying for my granddaughter, and this little scripture came to mind, and what he wanted me to pray for is, she's got a really tender heart, and I wanted to pray for resilience for her. And it's like the scripture directs me in prayer so much, and it just blesses me. This is Marcie, and this is my story with God.